What is xerography? Xerography is an occlusion-driven, consensus-deriving mechanism, which assumes the case of both Plato's cave and Descartes' demon, for any particular agent or phenomenon. That is to say, infinite skepticism, with regards to the agent, including self-perception. As a process, it seeks to engage in some fundamental inquiries regarding the subset of possible worlds in which observation is plausible. The possibility and/or utility of consensus-deriving mechanisms at all, as well as ethical questions relating to sovereignty, freedom and responsibility and the socio-political implications of these positions. Additionally, it explores practical philosophy and contemporary science from the perspective of the layperson, in an attempt to identify and implement protocols and experiments probing at the hypotheses of these inquiries, both subjectively and objectively. In summary, across its existence, an agent interacts with a set of shadows, or sense phenomena, projected onto the wall, that is their subjective experience, only from those presumed objects which have passed through their sensorium. The collection of shadows, or sense experiences, are the agent's perspective of reality and its components, but cannot be independently measured, and so cannot be universally proven as accurate representations of the objects themselves, if they exist at all. Instead, linguistic systems emerge between the agent and a conglomerate of sense phenomena, which the agent regards as a mutual participant, via cyclical mapping and reproduction of pattern correlations between phonetic and diagrammatic symbols, and the agent's respective sense experiences. This enables an interface between agents who are each in their own subjective cells, or caves, but cannot necessarily prove the independent existence of the other, as with any object itself. However, the claim is that while these linguistic and conceptual systems are useful and sufficient in terms of aiding the overall longevity of the agents, and the reproduction of their maps, in part and as a whole, they are analogous to Descartes' demon. That is to say, the agent's maps or systems, both those used to represent and communicate sense experiences, are not necessarily accurate representations of the objects themselves, if they exist at all, and thus cannot in a deterministic sense guarantee the longevity of the agent and the reproduction of its maps. Worse still, in certain cases, it could be argued that the maps and systems themselves inhibit or prohibit the iteration of increasingly accurate representations. Arguments for this claim exist in various philosophies of mind and natural philosophy, including, but not limited to, Gödel incompleteness, entropy in information theory and thermodynamics, evolutionary fitness, and Donald Hoffman's multimodal user interface theory. Of course, such a notion might be philosophically paralyzing, where the agent's speculations, even if empirically verifiable, are charitably approximate fractions of all possible worlds. In fewer words, any particular conceptual or verbal speculation about reality, including speculations about the agent's properties, or any other agent's properties, as well as appropriate methodology in terms of truth-deriving mechanism, are paradoxical in the best case, and hypocritical in the worst. Thus, what is taken for granted by the agent is the exclusion of facthood, and its requirements from any statement that can be made about reality. Anything that can be thought, said, or conceptualized is a silhouette or a shadow of the underlying object or objects. In turn, the agent can apply xerography as a process of identifying relevant propositions and applying an amended form of Janist skepticism, where any proposition about reality is either 1. Not accurate, nor describable. 2. Not accurate, but describable. 3. Accurate yet, not describable. 4. Accurate, or describable. Or 5. Accurate and describable, where the objective is the momentary occlusion of propositions in each category of the rubric, and the observed consequences to the maps and conceptual systems underpinning sense experience. In a way, it is a more robust extension of scientific skepticism, but applied to increasingly primary presumptions and axioms underpinning the agent's decision-making matrix, in terms of conceptualization. Sequentially, each identifiable component of a proposition can be subjected to xerography, and an increasingly contrasting representation between what is consensually accurate and describable about a proposition, versus what is less accurate, or less describable, about that proposition, can emerge. In addition, the process necessarily relies on the agent taking a paradoxical stance regarding the existence of other agents, or an environment at all, and presume that it is accurate, yet not describable, at least.